What's up, guys? Welcome to Philadelphia and welcome to another video. Today, I'm bringing you the story of Paul. Paul's been on the streets for 3 months, but today I was able to give him the best day he's had since he's been on the streets. Stay tuned to the end to see the transformation. So, Paul, what's a day like for you in Philadelphia?
Well, I usually don't wake up till 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, depending on where I find the sleep, the businesses usually kick anyone up off their property by 6 o'clock in the morning, and then it's going to find going to find a place to use the bathroom, going to find a place to wash my face and brush my teeth, going to find somewhere to get breakfast, and that's just the morning. And the afternoon, it's basically a repeat, Walk around trying to find out what's out here, what's changing, where can I go to get out of the heat if it's too hot, or where can I go to get out of the cold if it's winter. And it's just a cycle every day. And for me, it's starting to get depressing because it feels like it's a never-ending cycle.
How you doing today? And how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. Another day. I'm alive. I thank God for that.
Tell us what's your name and where you're from.
My name's Paul. I'm originally from New York. Been in Philly for maybe a couple of months. Just getting out of prison. I have nothing to my name.
How long have you been staying on the street?
About 3 months.
All right, 3 months. And how did that come about?
After I was released from prison, I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have anything at all. I'm just trying to pick myself up from the ground, start over.
Have you tried to use any of the resources here in Philly?
Slowly, taking it one day at a time. I found out about how to get housing. I'm working with outreach. Every time I see them, I make contact so they can do whatever it is that they do to help place me. I speak with I'm not sure what they are exactly, but they walk around. They have white shirts on. I can't remember what their badge says, but one of the ladies checks up on me every day and gives me new information, places that I can go to eat, places I can sleep at night, where I can take showers, wash up, So I'm using any resource that they give me to the best of my ability.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with the outreach. A member of my team is actually a part of the city outreach, and so I know what they do. Have you tried being in the shelter?
I've tried shelters before. I don't like the atmosphere of them, so I prefer to sleep on the street than in a shelter. It's just more. It just gives me a little bit more peace of mind for some reason.
Okay, so how long were you in the shelter?
A month.
And you decided to leave after a month?
Yeah.
You mind sharing why you left?
I don't like how we're all bunched up together. Right? It makes me feel uncomfortable. To maybe a foot away from either side of me, there's someone on top bunks or bottom bunks, and
it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
For your space.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you were originally from New York. Is this your first time being homeless?
No. My mom, growing up, I've been homeless with my mom before in New York. We stayed at shelters.
You and your mom together?
Yes.
Oh wow.
So this isn't my first time being homeless. I was homeless when I was a kid before. And that reminded me of a situation about shelters. When I stayed in one with my mother while I was a child, someone told me that they put rats and other things in the food that they served us. And that scared me so bad that I would never eat anything from a shelter again for a long time while I was a kid.
Wow.
That's one of the experiences that put me off of shelters as well.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's kind of crazy. So, do you have an idea on how your mom became homeless?
Um, she was young and she didn't have any help and she had a child. So we were on the street and, people started telling her, where she can stay at night or whatever, just to get her situation better. How exactly it happened, I'm not sure. I was too young. And it's not something she talks about. She talked about with me.
Okay. And what brought you from New York to Philly?
Um, I moved out to Pennsylvania when I was a teenager. My mother, she felt that New York was getting a little too rough, and she wanted somewhere a little more suitable to raise children. So my uncle at the time had convinced her to move out to Pennsylvania.
How long ago did y'all move from New York to PA
We mo-
initially?
we moved from New York about 20 years ago.
Okay, okay. And you said you went to jail. How long were you in prison?
4 years.
Okay, so you did 4 years in prison, and then you got released. Where did you get released to?
The street. When you max out, you don't have to have anything anywhere to go. They
Just release you,
they
and you find your way.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay, and where did you initially go?
I came back to Philadelphia. I had spent some time with friends out here before, and I that 4 years ago the city was a lot different. Now I have no one, no friends, no family, and I'm not sure where to go from here. I'm trying to take it one day at a time. I still have hopes and dreams that I would like to fulfill. So one day at a time, just moving forward towards those hopes and dreams.
You
Uh,
got to, man. Don't never give up. Don't never lose sight of those dreams. Continue to push towards them, because things can turn around quicker than you know. And so, what are some of those hopes and dreams that you have?
my biggest dream is to become a famous chef. I
Okay.
I love to cook, uh, try new things with food. It's just if I could spend 20 hours in a kitchen, I think I'd be happy all day.
So as you can see, on this day, I was able to get Paul a haircut. I took him to my guy Juwan, who does haircuts for the homeless here in Philadelphia. That made him feel really, really great. And after that, we was able to sit down, have a meal, talk about some of the things he's been through, and you'll get that in this two-part interview. Let's go back for a second. What was your childhood like?
My childhood, I grew up in the projects, 6 kids. So I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. Um, I'm the oldest. That's rough.
Mm.
Uh, you're the example. You have everything you do, they follow. If it's wrong, you get in trouble. Um, my mother was a single mother. We have we had different fathers. No one helped. So I became the man of the house, taking care of my younger brothers and sisters, uh, putting them to bed, getting them up for school, feeding them. That's where I found my love for cooking, you know. So that much, so I didn't really have a problem feeding them. But I grew up a little quick. I guess I didn't really have the childhood I wanted to be able to just go out and play or just be carefree. I spent most of my childhood taking care of other children.
When did you start getting in trouble?
About 13, which is ironic because my mother, I had moved out to Pennsylvania around when I was 12, and my mother had moved us from New York so that we wouldn't get in trouble. And I didn't start getting in trouble until I moved to Pennsylvania,
Ironically.
doing little stuff, staying out all night, drinking, started smoking weed, uh, not coming home for days. And it just got worse. But eventually, I calmed down a little bit. I got a job uh, working at Boston Market. I I started to grow up, but I guess I never finished.
Okay, so you ended up in Pennsylvania. You end up getting charges. You end up in prison. You maxed out. You came home. Where was your like family and friends when you came home?
There were no most of my families I don't even speak to for reasons I really don't want to get into.
That's
And
fine.
friends, they're either in jail or dead. You know, 4 years, a lot can happen.
Absolutely. So, did you go to the shelter immediately, or you just hit the streets? Like, how did that go when you came home?
Uh, I stayed on the streets for a while, and then someone had told me about the shelter. So after I decided, yeah, I'd try to stay in it, even though I wasn't a big fan of shelters. But after staying it for a few weeks, I just shelter just really wasn't my for me. I couldn't do it.
Okay, so how about work? Did you try getting a job when you got out?
Uh, the problem with that was I didn't have any identification or social security card, birth certificate, but I have recently picked up a photo ID. Someone had just recently helped me with that. I just received my social security card, so that's the first step. Now I put out some applications. I even spoke to the people who've been doing donations on the side of the streets. They said they get paid 17 an hour, and they took my number down, and I'm hoping to hear back from them. So
Yeah, that'll be a good start, and hopefully, you can secure a job and start producing some income, and go about that. At least that step, at least have the chance to have gotten through that step to be able to help yourself. So hopefully we can make something like that happen. And do you have like a cash app or anything that somebody can, if somebody wanted to donate or help you out, do you have any type of thing?
no,
All right. So hopefully, you get something like a cash app set up so you can receive some type of help if somebody that's seeing this and want to help, or whatever. So you see, Paul, along with many others, have different stories on how they ended up in this situation. But it was such a pleasure to be able to make his day and look at the smile on his face after getting his hair cut. Man, that really made me feel good. The homeless crisis continued to rise in Philadelphia, but with people like myself, Juwan, and many others, the marathon continues as we try to continue to put smiles on these faces. And with the support of you guys, the goal is to change and impact as many lives as possible. Thanks for watching. See you next week with another video.